Good evening, everybody. I hope that you're doing very well. Sorry for a slight delay that we had. As I told you just now, it was just because we couldn't share specific slide. So I was shutting down the whole thing, restarting the whole thing, and coming back. Thank you. So let's start today, Chapter 7, Targeting Market Segments and Communities. Today we are going to talk about one of the most specific keywords of marketing, which is market segmentation, target marketing, and kind of a little bit positioning. So let's see how the whole chapter is going to be started. Our objective, as usual, going to be this. After reading this chapter, you will be able to answer these questions. Outline the characteristics of the three major markets for e-business. Explain why and how e-marketers use market segmentation to reach online customers. List the most commonly used market segmentation bases and variables. Outline 5 types of usage segments and their characteristics, as well as the 4 coverage strategies e-marketers can use to target online market customers will be discussed as well. So, as usual, we had this objective. So let's start with a little bit introduction to the whole thing. 1-800 followers. What is that? Utilize data mining software to identify customer segments for better targeting. So nowadays, for online marketing, for being able to come up with a better services, you have to be able to locate your customers. So there are lots of programs and softwares that can help you based on IP and other basically determinants in online era to help you to be able to do so. And the more you know about the customer, definitely the more you can plan customer and the strategies that you want to provide for basically come up with a better marketing strategies for the customer. As a result of segmentation and targeting strategies, customer retention increased by 15% and sales by 13.8% in 2003. This is again a specific case study. We don't have complete information and comprehensive information here. Definitely the original source has all the story, but what we have, I try to make it as much as possible to clarify. You see what is important in marketing. One of the most important things in marketing is customer retention rather than customer acquisition. So for marketers, the most important thing is keeping what they have as a current customer rather than focusing on adding new customers. Even if you want to compare, if you can add more customers or keep your current customers, definitely retention of customer is much more important. So this is how segmentation and targeting strategy could help to come up with a better service to the customer, and then at the end of the day, as you can see here, customer retention increased by 15% in that case, as well as sell 13 points. Website attracted 13.1 million new customers and repeat order rate increased to 43%. Again, this is related to our case study, the one that the story that, as I told you, is not perfectly comprehensively information is not provided here, but apparently on website who focused on this data tracking and data mining softwares to be able to recognize and identify their customer, they could come up with a better, definitely, attraction for customers. 13.1 million new customers visited the website, and the repeat order rate increased to 43%. This is another specific, basically, outcome of what they've done as marketing, proper segmentation and better targeting. Why do you think better segmentation and targeting lead to reduced phone time and lower cost? You see, one of the most common ways of doing marketing is phone marketing or telemarketing. And when e-marketing came to the picture, that became a little bit basically less used simply because internet is going to give you a much better chance of creating what you had before. So now we can see, do you think better segmentation and targeting lead to reduced phone time and lower cost? if you know exactly who is your potential customer and how to serve them. Is there anybody who's gonna be interested to answer this? This is a basic question, and at the end, I want to just see whether you have any feedback toward that. Anybody in the class who's interested to talk about that? Okay, Mr. Afullah is saying that dear teacher, according procurement law, we have just 10% retention. You mentioned 15%. Okay, what are you referring to? This is the 15% that we had in the case study. It wasn't like something that I initiated by myself. Okay. Yeah. So if there is nobody who answered that, definitely better segmentation and better target marketing will help you to come up with a better result, definitely lower cost, because you see, when you don't know who to target, you will end up wasting your time and energy and your money dealing with every single person that can be your potential customer. But definitely not all of them are going to be your customers, so you're basically wasting some money, energy, and time. But if you know your target market, if you know your proper segment, and you try to position yourself in that specific segment, definitely you will end up having much more effective and efficient marketing. This is just for at the beginning of the whole discussion. So let's talk about segmentation and targeting overview more and see what's going on. Marketing segmentation is the process of grouping individual businesses according to use, consumptions, or benefits of a product or services. For example, simply you can categorize your market to two different categories of male or female, or age differences, or ethnicity differences. Any of those demographic components can be a very good determinant for classification in the market. You can have different type of segmentation based on different type of criteria. And you can specifically monitor on certain type of customer and not the whole population that you're dealing with. So that can help you to be more effective and efficient. Sister said that, but I have not received. Oh, you're talking to each other, so okay, I thought that you're okay. Let's talk about targeting. Targeting is the process of selecting market segments that are most effective to the firm. So as I told you, after categorizing the market to different categories based on the criteria that you have, the next step will be which segment is the right segment for me. So, for example, based on your potential and capability, you have to choose some segments out of all possible segments in the market. Or sometimes you can target different ones, as much as you can, as far as you have the capability to deal with. So most attractive segments to the customer means they can give you enough profitability or the profit that you're looking for. Okay, so in targeting, at the end of the day, you are going to choose among segments that you already created the right segments for you. Three basic markets that we are going to have: business market, government market, and consumer market. Consumer market is the most common one in most of the marketing basically concepts, and we are usually monitoring on the consumer by itself. Business market is the second top important one, or second top more discussed one, and then the next one will be government. Then the government is going to be your basically customer. So segmentation basis, there are so many different ways to segment the market. Okay, we may have geographic location, like you simply can have your customers or consumers divided to different categories based on the location that they are in, like Europe section, Asian section, European section, American section, African section, and so on. You may have it based on country, you may have it based on different districts or regions. It can be any geographical location. It can be demographics. As you know, demographics, there's so many things, subcomponents for demographic, from age, sex, income level, and so many basically subcomponents in that category, education level, and all those. Psychographics, when you are looking at the pattern of consumption as well as psychological reactions of your basically consumers. For example, in different areas, you don't serve beef in India simply because there are some psychographic patterns of that is highly rooted in cultural and religious basically beliefs. So McDonald's goes to India, try to come up with a new product, a chicken burger rather than beef burger, simply because Indians or majority of Indians are Hindu and they don't basically consume beef. Behavior with regard to the product, again, behavioral pattern can be by itself can be basically investigated, and based on that you can categorize your market or segment your market. Companies can combine bases such as geodemographics or the combination of geography and demography. When you put both together, like for example, females that they are from north states of the countries, or males that they are from certain districts. You see, you can have both combination of that. Or all of those young adults that they are between age 20 to 20, for example, 9, and they are living in west part of the capital. Okay, that is another geographical or geodemographic categorization. Again, this is how you can basically categorize it. We already talked about psychographic, Mr. Ahmed. I said to you, psychographic, definitely you will have the psychological patterns, you know, and the behavior that you may have, the combination of behavior and psychographical pattern. Certain things, I gave you the Indian example, and that can be a very good example. Geographic segment product distribution strategy is the driving force behind geographic segmentation. Countries may be segmented based on internet usage. If you're talking about online marketing or electronic marketing, usually you can categorize your geographical segmentation not just simply based on the location or in which country your consumers are belong to. You may consider categorizing your market based on the internet usage. Simply, you can see if the higher the internet usage is, the better chances for you to absorb more customer. As you can see here, countries may be segmented based on different internet usage. As you can see, US 196 million user, China 95.6, and Japan 7.9. Then again, these informations are 2003. And definitely these numbers are much bigger nowadays. Geographic markers may also be evaluated by infrastructure variables. You know how, for example, if you look at two countries like China or India, potentially by the number of populations and so on, they are more or less the same. But when it comes to infrastructure, China is much better and India is having a very full infrastructure. And one of the reasons why India cannot reach the economic growth that China has is that they say lack of proper infrastructure. Language spoken may also be a variable when you come up with the geographical segmentation. For example, if you look at a continent like Europe, which is the whole Europe, sometimes it is smaller than a country like, for example, slightly bigger in country like Saudi Arabia or maybe India, even smaller than India, but it has so many different cultures and so many different languages to among those people. That language can be, or the language variable can be another criteria to categorize the market. Let's go further. This is how it works, electronic marketing based on different languages all around the world, how the categories are done. As you can see, 35 6.8% of people in the world speaking English. Other languages, the next high number will be Chinese language, specifically Mandarin, which is 14.1%. We have Japanese, Spanish, German, Korean, French, Portuguese, Italian, Russian, Dutch. Okay, that there are different other languages that they are spoken based on their basically the number of people that are speaking the languages. It should not be this cannot be just the whole world. It can be a specific continent, or I'm not sure, because there's no, because having Japanese language as the third one, it's kind of surprising, as far as Spanish is the fourth one. So most probably these categories is not considering the whole world, specific district, simply because you see the whole American Latino except Brazil are all speaking Spanish. We have Spain as a country also speaking Spanish. Lots of Caribbean countries are speaking Spanish. So it cannot be like Japanese or more than, but anyway, in their specific district that they were studying, this is how the pattern of speaking certain languages. And so again, based on this, you can have your own categories if your product can be categorized or influenced by that language as a main criteria. In continue with type of segmentation, we are now going to talk about demographic segmentation. In developed nations, users are much like the mainstream population demographically. So demographically, when we say demographic segmentation, we are considering so many different subcomponents. I already gave you sex, age, income level, educational level, ethnicity, religion. All of these things can be different demographic information about certain people, and then based on that, you can have your own categorization. Three market segments are of the great interest to e-marketer. Specifically, we have ethnic groups, influentials, and millennials. All of them are going to be different, basically, categories when coming to basically different segmentation. Okay, if you want to explain this more in detail, first of all, let me start from influential. Influential is basically those people, because it is specifically about online marketing, so you have to consider this is not normal type of marketing. We're talking about online marketing. So influential people will be those people that usually are the main initiators in any specific basically pattern of purchase. So if you have them, you recognize them, or you know who they are based on the number of purchase, frequency of visit, and so on. You can definitely plan them more than normal people, because you know if they come and buy any product from you, most probably based on word of mouth and the influence of them on the market, you will end up having more customers in the basically for yourself. So that is really important. How these people are gonna be actually the target of a market, and how we can use them to get a better result. Okay. Then we have this basically ethnical groups, and ethnical groups are actually those different ethnicities that you may have, and this ethnical groups usually are those groups that basically based on the place that you're in. Like if you look at India, they have like one of the maximum ethnicity diversity in the world. So definitely ethnical groups are going to be those groups that if you are in a specific area like India, multicultural, multi-ethnicity, that has to be a very good way of segmenting. And we have these millennials as well. I already put it over there in the text chat box for Mr. Edwish Rahimi, who was asking about that. Millennials is all Generation Y. As you know, Generation Y, they're all born between 1982 to 1994, if I don't make a mistake. These are after Generation X. before Generation X, we have baby boomers, and some baby boomers are right after World War II. So in marketing, we usually categorize our target market based on very common categorizations that based on age categories. Baby boomers right after World War II. We consider before baby boomers, most probably they are not alive or they are minor enough to not consider them. So baby boomers are the first one right after World War II. To certain extent, you have Generation X and Generation Y, that they are these millennials that I told you, and other categories under the these millennials. All of them are already starting their main careers. They are very good, as I told you, between 1982 to 1994. After them, we have other categories. After Generation Y, we will have toddlers, tweens, and tweeners, and then we have teens, tweens, and then we have toddlers, and then even categories that they are age between. We will have it in more limited version as well. For example, 2 to 4 and so on. But again, this is one of the most common categories of age, and that's why in demographic segmentation we discussed them. So I hope, Mr. Raimi, you understood this properly. Millennials of those born between 1979 and 1994. As you can see, this the Generation Y. If you look at the different books, you may get different range. But 1982 to 1994, as I told you, is one of the most common ones. The one that we have it here is 1979 to 1994, which gives make people from Generation X, that they are between 1979 to 1984, 1982, also part of Generation Y. 75% use of internet, they're going to be these people. That is why we consider them as one of the main demographic segmentation rather than Generation X or after Generation Y, all of those teens or tweens and so on. They grew up with the internet. They are these categories usually when they started knowing like how to, basically these people kind of they grew up, as you can see, with the internet. 80% have cell phones and 36% use text messaging all the time. This is again a very, very old basically statistic. If you look at now definitely cell phone usage is much higher, as well as text messaging. Most have broadband for downloading music and watching videos online, and this group is a providing ground for the future. These people, because they are very familiar, they don't have technophobia, they're going to end up being much more compatible with the internet and internet usage. So that's why for electronic marketers, this is a very, very good category. You have ethnic groups as well. 59% of Hispanics use the internet. If you look at the American population, the most common basically population in the US, basically they are going to be in different. We have Caucasians and around 50% of population. We have Hispanic, we have African American, we have others like Asian Americans and other small ethnicities. But if you look at just a specific ethnic group like Hispanic group, that they're speaking Spanish and they have a Spanish root, these people, 79% of them, specifically in the United States, use the internet. 55% use the Spanish language online. They don't even use the English as an online language. So Spanish is going to be the language that they use. So you can see how important it is for you to come up with a website that has these multi-languages as the main, as like the basically options for the people, because we do have a lot of people in the US that they are using internet. They don't mind coming and buying things from internet, but they're not speaking English. Or if they can, they're not interested in speaking in English if they have the source of Spanish. So that is again another important fact. African Americans have 43% rate of adoption and tend to be younger, more highly educated, and more affluent than African Americans, and not using more than the rest, and African American not using the internet. Most probably this is Asian Americans, because what I can see is the fact that they are more highly educated. This has to be Asian Americans. I've seen this in the textbook before, and I know Asian Americans have 43% rate of adoption and tend to be younger, more highly educated, and more influent than African Americans. So for this, please in your PowerPoint slide, correct this. The second type is Asian Americans, okay? And the next one is more than half of Chinese Americans have internet access and higher purchasing power. So again, these all, you are going to talk about the different ethnicities, that there are different, basically, internet involvements and different specifications that for e-marketeers can be important and useful. Pay attention to this to be able to effectively serve them and get the maximum profitability that that can be done for the company. Influentials, they are the next category. These influencers are individuals who influence others, represent 10% of the population and 15% of internet users. They serve as an opinion leader for the rest of the population. These people are more those people that they try things sooner than the rest. They buy things sooner than the rest, and they don't. And usually they speak about that. They try to initiate word of the mouth. So you know, if you basically affect them properly, you most probably can affect the rest of the population. So this is the influentials. This is the last category on the demographic that we're discussing. Let's go further. Let's go talk about psychographic segments. I just told you about psychographic segments, but now again, we're going to have it more in detail. Mr. Ahmed Nasir also on top was asking this because I was expecting this to come up. I just left it in hold to reach this. User psychographics include usually this personality of human beings, how they are reacting to different things, values, lifestyles, activities, interests, and opinions. All gonna create your psychographic pattern. And sometimes that can be a very good way of categorizing the market. Certain values in certain countries, certain lifestyles in certain districts, certain activities to be done in certain countries, interests of certain people, demographically or geographically, opinions, opposition opinions, maybe main lobby opinions, all gonna be different subcomponents of psychographic. Interest communities. What are those? Interest communities attract like-minded individuals who post comments on websites or send emails to other members. These interest communities usually are internet groups that gonna be guided by certain individuals, and whether this is shaped for a certain political or social or any entertainment purposes. At the end of the day, these interest communities are also there. As marketeers, we can maneuver on them as well to be able to come up with a better marketing result. Let me see, there are some information here by student Mr. Mohammed. Carl said, divide the population into groups that have similar psychographic value and lifestyle. Exactly, this is psychographics. Then Mr. Idris Shahini says that, sir, there are references for these figures that you mentioned that would be good if you can. Unfortunately, what I have about the source is just this. I did have basically the name of the book. The whole PowerPoint slides were initiated from. I tried to send it to WebEx, the whole WWS to be able to, to WWS to be able to make them provide basically ebook or something, but unfortunately they couldn't get the whole thing. Anyway, at the end of the class, you just remind me again. I can share the name of the book with you one more time if I can find it here. If not, later on I will send you to your emails. Then lifestyle people's decision about how to live their daily life. Okay, yeah, you're explaining some of these. It's good, Mr. Al-Saab, that you're adding some information there. If you can write the names of the books in the PowerPoint, that would be good. I have to search it, Mr. Edishraimi. Let me basically find out what's going on. Then, if I can find it today, I will send it to you. If not, then later on, I try to email it to everybody. So let's talk about interest communities. There is this exhibit again. Unfortunately, we don't have it. It lists 10 important types of online communities. I don't know whether the next is slide you do have it or no. No, as a matter of fact, we don't have it this year. There are 3 ways to target online communities. These are the most 3 common ways to target these online communities, these interest communities that I just told you. First is providing online chats and events. If there any possibility for that, this is like one of the ways that you can target these communities to come and be part of your system, and then you get advantage of having them there. Advertise on another firm's community site. This is again another way. And then the last one is join the community and post as a member. Spilled or guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing is one of those techniques in marketing that nowadays they're actually is one of those sizzling parts. Is there anybody in the class who knows what is guerrilla marketing? Honestly, if there is anybody in the class who can explain what is guerrilla marketing and how it works. You can just raise your hand. I will give you the chance to talk. Okay, who's there? Who's gonna talk? Is there anybody? You can even write your the information there. I can put for you a very nice explanation here, and then again we can explain it later on. As you can see, the concept of guerrilla marketing was invented as an unconventional system of promotion that relies on time, energy, and imagination rather than a big marketing budget. Typically, guerrilla marketing campaigns are unexpected and unconventional, potentially interactive, and consumers are targeted in unexpected places. And usually, it's not that much expensive. It's an absolute it's an advertising campaign that usually try to use very cheap ways to target your basically your customers. The most common types that you can get usually are graffiti, sticker bombing, and so on. If you even search it by yourself, you will get viral marketing is kind of related to guerrilla marketing as well. You can have so many different techniques to be able to use this guerrilla marketing. So, as I told you, all of these 3 different ways are the ways that marketeers try to use to target online communities. And I added like an explanation about the video marketing over there as well for your understanding. When we were talking about psychographics, we said that attitudes and behaviors are going to be part of that. What is attitude? What is behavior? Some marketeers believe that a statement's attitude toward technology determines buying behavior. So that definitely affects. For example, if you're in America and most of people are really into buying the latest gadgets. So if people are all interested to buy the latest product, if Apple again is going to launch a new product, definitely we will have the same reactions that they have initially for the first iPhone generation. which came to the market, and there were queues of people in cold weather staying over there to be the first people who buy this product. Simply because in America, just having the latest gadget is a trend, is a value, and people appreciate that. Okay, you may not have this everywhere in the world, so marketers should pay attention to this type of attitudes towards a product and try to use that for their own good. Forrester Research measures attitudes toward technology with a system called technographic. How people react to technology. Again, not all of the countries in the world, all of the people in the world are going to have the same reactions that American had toward the technology. You may have some other countries in the world, the technology or the latest one is not going to be that much important. So we may have some people, individuals, that they are interested in latest technology, but not the majority. So you won't have the approach that in the US you could find about a certain product. Like simply, if I want to compare US with Malaysia, Malaysia is a country which again, high technology, you can see it in every day of people's life. The lifestyle of people is highly affected by technology. What you won't see, what you can see in US, which is like for being the first person to get that product, people, they're gonna have those type of sacrifices or doing things that in the US you can see. Simply because technographically, Malaysians are different from Americans. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Hornstop is all right that you put that from Wikipedia there. Exactly. Hornstop is all right that you there. The graffiti and stickers that I was talking about, they're all there as well. Their findings provide a number of clues about online purchasing behavior. So as I told you, attitude and behavior of people toward technology or any certain product or trend of product can be considered as a very good, effective element or influential element for marketers to come up with a better marketing campaign. So another segmentation that we can discuss here now in detail is behavior segment. Do you think what is behavior segments? Two common segmentation variables are benefits sought and product usage. People usually have two approaches toward the product: how the product can be used and what are the benefits that they can find or they can seek in the product. So benefits sought as well as product usage. Online shoppers can be bargain hunters or convenience shoppers simply because internet gives them the opportunity to do so. In real life, if you want to get the best bargain and the best price, and having that information that can help you to have a extra edge when you go to any purchase, you really need to do lots of research on a certain product, and definitely that is not convenience, but convenient, and it's not absolutely convenient to social. But then in online marketing or online shopping, that is super possible. Simply by clicking on different things, you may end up having a huge comparison of different products, prices, information, detail, and so on, and that can give you that bargaining that we're talking about that here, bargaining power. Marketers often segment by light, medium, and heavy product usage. We usually, the marketers, when it comes to the online marketing, they usually categorize their customers or consumers based on the three main different categories, whether they are light users or low maturity customers, medium users or medium maturity, or heavy users or high maturity. And simply because the way that they use these products and buying products online. Usage segment is another, again, categorization of different segments. Marketers can segment according to how consumers use the internet. We have home versus work access, and mainly everybody is gonna work every day like 8 hours or more. So most of the people are gonna be in the peak of their day in the office, And definitely, if there is internet over there, then they use the internet. Because it's office area and or work area, they may not be able to surf internet as much as they want, simply because the limitation that is in the work environment. But in home, you won't have that access problem. But there are other issues like maybe you're not that much highly energized to do so. And at the end of the day, these two are one of the basic concerns or components of this usage segment. Access speed is another one. In which location you are connecting and how the access speed is. If it's higher, definitely you have better internet usage simply because it's much more convenient and easier to use internet. If the speed is not that much high, that is definitely like an obstacle for you to use the internet. So that definitely affects featured receiving device. If there is definitely different devices that you can use while you're connected to the internet or while you are surfing the internet, and definitely those devices, they are affecting your usage as well. The more high technology or advanced they are, the better your chance of your usage or higher usage you will have, simply because it's much easier and again more possible for you to do so. Time spent online is highly directly related to the usage. The more you try, you use online time, and definitely the more usage you will have. Industry-specific usage also is another category. If you're interested in certain type of product, certain type of material, industry-specific usage will be shaped based on that. For example, you are a pharmacist who is interested in pharmaceutical products online. Definitely, more or less, you will be in that industry specifically, and you use the materials related to that industry. If your industry is different, most probably your searching material and internet usage is also different. In continued usage segment, approximately 56 million US users access the internet from work and 202.4 million from home. So you can see significant amount number from home in comparison with office usage. Broadband users operate differently from narrowband users online, simply because broadband again is much easier. You can have it everywhere, and it can give you this convenience of usage. So definitely that make it more different and much easier in comparison with narrowband users, which is a normal fixed lines or any type of internet which is not broadband. 75% play audio CDs when they are using internet. 60% play online games. 48% download music and watch streaming videos or DVDs. All of them upon the quality of your connection speed, the type of broadband that you have, the type of connection that you have, and also whether you're at home, your office. Sometimes even in office, it's possible to do so, but again, it won't be as convenient as home. So in usage segment, you have to consider this information as well. Because here in this table, we have user segment based on online viewing behavior. We have different segments, simplifiers, surfers, connectors, bargainers, routiners, and sportsers. Important facts for each of them is different. For example, simplifiers, 50% of total online purchases, 49% have been online for over 5 years, and longest online. And it's the most common type of internet users. They don't really have any specific criteria to make them different. They just go online to do basic things. Online time 7 hours per month. You have surfers. These people, simplifiers, they have the lowest amount of usage, as you can see. We have surfers, 8% of active user population, 32% of online time usage, and for more than any other segments, and more than the average of 9.8 hours per month they use internet. Connectors, 36% active user population, 40% have been online under 2 years, and 42% have made online purchases less than the average of 9.8 hours per month. Bargainers, again, 8% are active users, 52% even users. Less than the average of not going, 8 per hour per month again. You have routiners and you have the sporters as well. Again, different categories based on their usage and how they're using internet. You are going to categorize them. Again, you have to see as a marketer which of these categories are more significant to you and maneuver on them better. For example, if you find surface as the right, for example, category to use for your internet campaign, you have to focus on them more. If you think the connectors are more important for you or simplify, so definitely you have to find. As a matter of fact, as I told you so far, all of these segmentation happen because simply you cannot target the whole market. The whole market means the whole population that you're dealing with. If you want to serve everybody in the market, you will end up serving everybody not in a proper way. So for you, the most important thing is finding, first of all, how many different segments you can have and how many of those segments are more attractive for you. Means if you serve them, you will end up having more profitability. That is the philosophy of the whole segmentation. And why you choose some of them, not all of them, again, simply because if you just focus on some and exploit your resources in a way that you can get certain group of people, certain segments more happy and more satisfied, rather than all being served and not being happy and satisfied. So you do the targeting and target market. So all of these categories and segmentation based on different criteria that we discussed so far, they were all for this main reason. Targeting online customers. After all of this segmentation that I explained for you, targeting online customer is the next part that the marketeers have to do to be able to come up with the best result. We marketers select from among 4 different approaches for targeting a strategy. You will have different type of targeting strategy to be able to handle your market. The first strategy is mass marketing or undifferentiated targeting. When you basically, after knowing there are different segments, you just do mass marketing without being concerned about who's going to be your main audience. So this type of marketing definitely is not as efficient as the rest because you're going to have everybody involved, but it depends. If your product is something very general, this is how you have to do it. For example, if you're selling bread, which is a general product, no matter how old you are, what is your sex, what is your ethnicity, at the end of the day, everybody eats bread. So there's no point to target certain type of people and ask them to eat your bread. At the end of the day, for bread as a product or mineral water, the best idea is just having mass marketing or undifferentiated targeting. But there are other products that you cannot go that way. That's why we have different type of strategy. Let's go for the multi-segment marketing. When you target more than one certain segment. For example, you are making clothes and you have online clothing companies. Just imagine you can have clothes for young adults, that they are female and male, as well as maybe infants and also teens. But you don't have any product for middle age or more senior citizens and so on, or Generation X or Generation Y, basically baby boomers, simply because those categories are not part of your target market. So if you have more than one segment, but still it's not mass marketing, we call multi-segment marketing. The next strategy will be niche marketing. When you choose a specific narrow segment that is absolutely different. For example, if you make wheelchair as your main product, whether you sell them online or offline, there are just certain type of people that you can have that product, or they are willing to have that product. Disabled people that they won't be able to walk. So you don't market your product to everybody. You market your product to certain type of people that they have that disability and they need that. Or just imagine you have very expensive product and not everybody is willing to buy, or not everybody can afford buying them. Like for example, all of these luxurious cars like Ferrari, Lamborghini, or any product like that. Okay, and that simply means you will be able to just target those people that they can afford your product, and there is no point of targeting everybody and do this mass marketing or multi-segment, simply because if you look at any population, how many people can afford buying those type of products? Not definitely everybody, not even majority, even minorities are going to be significant minorities. So that is niche marketing. And macro marketing, when you're going to go even more detailed and having a smaller category in each segment. For example, we have segments of females that they are basically they are young adults and they are teenagers and they are starting in high school. That will be another macro marketing that you may have for that specific category. Agency is even more detailed as niche marketing. The internet's big promise is individualized targeting. Actually, the main benefit of internet as a new medium to add more competitiveness to the whole marketing practices is the fact that internet can provide you an interaction that you can have with your customer, and nothing else can give you this. That interaction means you can customize or individualize or personalize your product or services to each and every individual. That is the main big promise of the internet to the whole marketing and targeting practices. That's why you can see when it comes to online marketing, this targeting and specific target marketing and segmentation is going to be even more significant. So by explaining this, we almost reached the end of the class, the end of actually the slides, but definitely we won't finish it now. I want to see, as usual, if there is anybody who's going to share his or her opinion about what we have done today. And if there is any question, again, I would be happy to answer them. Is there any question, ladies or gentlemen? Okay, niche marketing, Mr. Jahadullah, you are asking about niche marketing. Okay, Mr. Armstrong, you can write down what is your suggestion, but let me explain niche marketing. Niche marketing is when you choose a specific target that is a specific segmentation in the market that needs a specific needs, and they are attributed to specific traits. I just told you, for example, very rich people that they can afford luxurious cars. For Ferrari or Lamborghini or Porsche or any of these luxurious brands, there is no point to go and target everybody in the market because they know not everybody can afford their product. Or if you look at another luxurious brand, like for example Rolex as a watch, it's a very expensive product. That is a product that certain type of people can afford. So Rolex, if they want to come up with a proper, effective marketing, they have to just focus on those people rather than doing the mass marketing. Because there is no point of doing so. I'll give you another example, plus being rich. It can be, for example, somebody, there are certain people with certain needs. I just told you disabled people. Or people that they are, for example, they have some other restrictions. Or just imagine you are an athlete who is playing certain type of professional thing, like for example golf. If you're playing golf and you're a professional athlete, you may need professional tools and basically equipment. Not normal people go, if they want to even play golf, they don't buy the professional one. So for all of those tool makers, golf tool makers, there's no point of targeting everybody. You have to just target those professionals that they are competing in the different competition and they are willing to use your product. So that is niche marketing, Mr. Jawad. I hope that you understood. Again, Mr. Armstrong, the same Mr. Sahab, again, you see, let's stick to our deadline. Deadline is going to be the same. If you have two subjects with me and there is any concern, you can later on explain it for me. But as a matter of fact, what we're going to do is we're going to have the whole submission the same day. If you look at the assignment structure, I explained that basically we want to do it like that because at the end of the day, we're going to finalize everything, all of the assessment and your marks and everything by the end of the semester. So we don't want to deviate from that being pattern. If there is a rule, they call it Parkinson rule, means no matter how much human being has time, still he or she will postpone everything to the last moment. That is actually a fact. Even if you have 1 year, you will end up doing it in last week. If you have 2 weeks, you will do it in last week. So as a matter of fact, no matter how much we extend, you will end up having the same thing. So I want you to do your best to be able to cope with what we have. If by any case there is any problem, then we can look at that specifically, but not as a general. I want everybody, all of the groups, to submit their assignment on time. Thanks for understanding. So, Mr. Understand, we will submit you before start. What is that? Before just lots of text coming before start of next class. Yes, you can do that. You can submit it before starting the class, or you can do it up to the end of that day. For example, you have it with me on Monday, and after class you can submit it up to the end of the same day, which is Monday. And so that is still understandable. But do not delay later than that. Okay, thank you. Mr. Shakurullah, I have not received any email regarding of assignment. Could you please? Oh, okay. I send the assignment structure, everything at the beginning of semester to all of the emails which was provided from WWS to me. Definitely, Mr. Sahibzadeh, if you are belong to any certain group, definitely one of your group members has received that email. Please kindly ask your friend to send you, forward you the email that I send you. Then I don't need to really one by one send again to those that they don't. So if anybody in the class who didn't receive the assignment, as far as you have to be in a group, and it's definitely a person in the group that who has received this already, please gently contact them and ask them to forward it to you. We had like 2 main emails sent to you. One was about your PowerPoint slides. I already sent you all of the PowerPoint slides, and the next one was your assignment structure. I sent it to all of you. So that is how it is. So Sir Harun Sahab is going to talk. No problem. I can give you the chance. But let me see. There are so many. Mr. Harun Sahab, just give me a chance. Sir, if someone submit at late, will you cut them off? As far as it's the same day, no mark. But if it's going to be late, as I put it in assignment structure, 25% of the assignment for each week delay is going to be deducted. So for your own good, please do not have delays. From the beginning of the semester, I ask you to help me and kindly collaborate in that sense. So nobody's gonna. It will be a win-win situation. You're happy, and I won't be definitely having any issue about that as well. Okay, no problem, Mr. Nustan. You can leave. Let me see, Mr. Sahib, what he has to say. Mr. Sahib, please raise your hand. Okay, from you. Okay. Hi, Mr. Sahib. Yes, Mr. Sahib.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. I just want to express once more my concern about submission of the assignment. Do you hear me, sir?
Yes, now I can hear you. Please repeat it again.
Okay. I just want to once more express my concern on the submission of the assignment. I respect the rules, the procedures, the law, and I have to comply with that. But as a human being, we cannot guarantee things. Especially during the month of Ramadan, and we may not have more than 3 or 4 hours sleeping, to be honest. So how we could manage all 3 assignments in a week? I think that is a humble question. If the professors in the academy can make a kind of coordination, so they should they shouldn't put all the assignments in 1 week. That is the big concern. We have one assignment for the HR, and for your subject, sir, I agree that at the very beginning you noticed everybody that by the week 8 this should be prepared. As you know that every day we are upgrading our knowledge about your subject and we are learning from you. So how we can prepare the assignments before we learn something from you? Now we are learning. Still, there are some more chapters left. There is more room to learn from your side. That is the concern that I think I may not be able. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your explanation. I like the way that you put your basically thoughts in the words. Articulation of what you were trying to say was an interesting thing. As a matter of fact, this is just about discipline. I do believe that what you're saying is right. I don't object that. That is right. But again, you see, as I told you, first of all, I'm sure that HRM is not asking you to submit your assignment on week 8. So that will be just my subject. So as far as you have two subjects with me, because you have two subjects with me, I can give this chance to have one of your assignment on week 8, another assignment up to 1 week later. That is all right. If you can make sure, this is just because I want to tell you that, yeah, I do definitely basically take to the consideration whatever the feedback of our students are all about. But and again, your collaboration and coordination to stick to what we had at the beginning of semester as our main agenda, which was week 8, is highly appreciated. But again, as you're saying that is Mahab Ramadan is happening, and also on the other side you have two assignments specifically with me, you can have them by week 9. One of them, you try to submit one of them by week 8, and then one of them up to week 8. It's up to you which one you want to do first or second, but I will give you another additional one, not exactly to it. Whoever has both of these two subjects with me, whoever has both of these two subjects with me can have one of the assignments by week 8 or another one by week 9. Is it all right, Mr. Harun Saab? Are you satisfied now? Mr. Harun Saab?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it all right now? Is it all right? Is it much better now?
Yes. Thanks, Aurora.
Okay, no problem. So that will be an additional thing. So for those students that they have both of these two subjects with me, you can do in your choice. One of them in week 8, another one maximum by week 9. Definitely after week 9, we will have all of those things that I explained in this, which is 25% reduction of the assignment in the calculation. This is all. At the end of the day, as I told you, for you, it's a win-win situation. You will be happier. At the end of the day, you will have your assessment and everything sooner. And on the other side, I have a much better pre-planning. Thank you so much, Mr. Arasov.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You saved my life. Otherwise, my kids and my wife would pull out me of home.
No problem.
Being busy with all the books, bunch of books and reading and internet, everything. So there is no time for nothing.
Oh, okay. No problem. Thank God that your problem is solved. Definitely, I do believe that we have to listen to each other and find out what are the best ways of handling it. My approach is an absolute democratic approach. I'm happy that now I could kind of solve your problem. Thank you so much, Mr. Harun. So if there is anything else in the class, just one more time and announce this. Week 8, which is next week, is your submission of assignment for the group. Those students that they have two subjects with me, because of what you just heard, you can have one of them next week, another one week 9. But if you have just this subject with me, definitely next week has to be done. Assignment has to be submitted through the group leader and not all of the group members. So you don't need all of you to send me that email. The email that you have to send is the email that you receive your PowerPoint slide from me. But again, I will write it down here. Then you know what email you have to say. It's a Gmail email. Please do not mistakenly put Yahoo there. So Rashad Yazdani5@gmail.com is the email that you have to send. Again, when you send your assignment, please, after attaching your work in Word, in the text of the email, please write down the group leader as well as group members. All of the names have to be there. Please do so for making sure there is nobody who's going to be basically missed from the whole thing, because you may send your email before the name before, but by any chance you had some differences, please write down the official final group members as well as the group leaders in that email. If the group leader is sick, for sure, definitely somebody else, one of the group members, as a representative, has to send the word, and then please mention in the in your email that what happened and why you are sending this. Thank you so much. If there is any question, please ask. If not, we can finish the class now. Ladies or gentlemen, do you have any questions? Thank you so much to you all for being attentive and having a very okay. Thank you all. Thank you all. Have a good night and see you next week. Bye.